I should have brought my special teams guy, but I had him up last week.
Good old Mike.
Yeah. Who called it the best hire? Was it Staples?
Not the best hire, even just the best addition to Nebraska
Andy
of
Staples.
anyone.
I need to go back and read that.
Andy Staples. Yeah, he. That was the interesting thing to me because obviously a lot of the transfers get the press, get the headlines, or whatever, and then you've got the coaching hires at the other spots for Nebraska. Obviously, you get Butler was in-house, so that doesn't technically count, I guess. But you have Braden coming in as well. I was kind of, I don't know if I was stunned, but I hadn't heard anybody say it yet, right? Say that, hey, Ekeler is the biggest addition to this staff or to this team, staff or player. We hear a lot about Holgorsen, rightfully so. You hear a lot about Phil Snow. You hear a lot about Braden. You hear a lot about all these guys, right? But that's why I asked the question of BC, because I think the same thing that sort of plagues us with believing Nebraska can just actually be good. Like when I sit here and I say, hey, I go through the schedule, I look at what I think this team is, I think they're 10-2. And we saw how people reacted to me. They're like, oh, come on, Ravi. Like they kind of lost it a little bit on me. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But I think we get a little bit of the same thing with special teams, right? It's been so bad for so long. We can't even fathom it being better than just not disastrous.
Yeah.
But that's not out of the question, right? Like Mike Ekeler's really good at what he does.
I don't know if they're on the same plane, but would you debate the results in their terms of their expertise between Holgorsen and Ekeler? Obviously, Holgersen's done it longer.
So that was my only thing, is there's a little bit longer track record. But in terms of actual results, the expertise is pretty similar.
Yeah.
Right? And we assume that Holgorsen, and I think rightfully so, is going to take the offense to the next level. Right? But because that was sort of the thing last year. Right? From year 1 to year 2, it was, hey, if the offense can just not be a disaster, we'll be okay.
We were using words for the last handful of years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the dirty C word we were using, which implies just basic stupidity? It's the opposite of it's the opposite of stupidity.
The opposite of stupidity?
Yeah, dirty C word.
Common sense?
Competent.
Competent. Okay.
It's like what people use when they really wanted to meet. It's like you're incompetent.
Yeah, or like, hey, can we just be competent? Like that's almost
like the
worse.
bare minimum of functioning at a normal level.
Just don't trip over yourself. That's what
we were using that word
frequently
with regards to special teams.
Absolutely, yes.
Can we just get competent special teams?
And my question is,
to not kick the ball down the wrong hash, to catch a snap.
Yeah.
To snap it correctly.
To get punts off every time.
To not field a ball on the 2. To not let a ball roll into the end zone, pick it up, try to come out and start at the 2. Can we just
competence?
That's how bad it was.
Because just competence gets you 2 wins extra last year, no questions asked. Right?
Yeah.
Just competence. I'm not even talking about that next step. I'm saying if you are just not just totally tripping over yourself, that's 2 more wins. So my question is, if we think a lot of the other things have gotten better as well, I think the offense is going to be better, right? Like we're assuming year 2, Dylan, fair assumption. Full year of Dana, fair assumption. Better wide receiver core, I think, fair assumption, right? A lot of those things, I think, are fair assumptions. So we assume the offense is going to be better. What if the special teams are not just competent, but actually good?
I don't know. I just make the case. I would start just real simplistic. We will see the benefit, the fruit from Ekeler, not only faster, and I'm not going to say it's easier, but faster, and certainly the impact could be greater than what we could see from what we assume will happen with the offense.
Yeah.
Safe?
I don't know which is greater. So the impact of having negative special teams is enormous.
Are you going back to like Harburg's first year as a starter where the offense was like woefully bad?
So that is the equivalent of what I think was the special teams has been.
I'd make the case special teams is worse.
You think it's easier for the other team to take advantage of woeful special teams? Is that the argument?
I would still say yes to that.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is you can see the benefits from a functional unit in special teams faster
Sure.
and probably more impactful than the offense.
I'm just having a hard time with the second part because I do think if Dylan is who I think he is with Dana, then that impact is going to be
You know you can win.
enormous.
Okay, let me put it to you this way.
Okay. You get what I'm saying, though?
Let me put it to you this way.
Okay.
I want to say yes, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
Would you rather be an average offense with good special teams or a good offense with below average special teams?
Oh, why can't you give me average special teams?
Because I don't even know what I don't even know what that looks like.
What's an average offense look like? Like, give me an example. Because we're talking better than Iowa, right? Offensively.
Yeah, they were historically bad.
Okay, so what's the average? Like, give me a corollary.
I'll give you 204 yards passing a game and 124 yards rushing.
So we're talking what, like 21 points a game?
Roughly 3. I'll give you
23 points a game. What's my defense look like? Do I have any idea?
Now here you go.
Well, here's the thing, because you can win with 2 of them if the third one's average.
No, you have to be elite in the other 2, I think.
Okay, right.
If you want to win.
If one's below average.
Yeah, you have to be elite
If
in the
one's
other 2.
average, I think you can be really good in the other 2 and win pretty well. Probably not at a 10, 11 game level, but you can win 8, 9.
Anecdotally, like on the surface, which one do you think you could see first?
I mean, I'm going to take the average offense and good special teams.
Me too. Every time.
Because like I said, the negatives of special teams are
They're
so
huge.
damaging.
Yeah.
So damaging. Now, if we tweaked it a little, and I know this wasn't the question, but if you give me good offense versus average special teams, I don't know. Like, that becomes a different discussion for me. Because if I can just get to neutral on special teams.
All right, I'm getting you to come around, but let me double down on getting you to come all the way over on the good side of the street. Just imagine if you can snap and kick with a certain level of efficiency. I'm not talking about making field goals.
Okay, so I was going to ask, are we including field goals here?
I'm talking about snapping and punting.
What level of efficiency are we talking here?
Oh, my God.
You got to give me references.
It's relative to how poor Nebraska has been. That's all I'm asking you to look at. Because the discussion point is you can see it quicker and it will have much more impact than the offense.
I do think you can see it quicker. It's the impact that I'm having a hard time with. Because it's not that I don't think special teams can be hugely impactful, but we've had this whole discussion for the last 2 months, basically, about the quarterback
I'll
play.
give you a third choice.
Yeah.
Since you want to get
in
the minutia.
Want to get in the weeds a little bit.
What if Nebraska has a game in which they don't get 2 kicks blocked? Do you care what the offense looked like in that said game?
No.
Okay.
But again, that's listen, Linda. Listen, Linda.
That dude had to have graduated by now, didn't he?
I wonder if how long ago was that?
I don't know, but he's got to have his diploma.
He probably doesn't talk like that anymore, I'd guess.
What was he in that 5 maybe?
Like 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, that dude's.
How long ago? Man, I didn't realize that video was that old. You're probably right though.
Yeah, that dude's walked, probably.
He's probably hanging out with Lilo and Stitch at that time.
Hey man, I'm still traumatized over that movie. Lighten up, Alice.
No, you're right. If you can just avoid disaster, I get that. But we've done this whole thing for the last 2 months talking about how important the quarterbacks are in moving on up.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing to just sit here and say that I for sure think the special teams can be more impactful.
I'm not surprised you're giving me pushback because when I tried to use Iowa as an example for a full year, I just could not get you to come around.
I have a hard time coming around on it. I do. I get that. And I might be wrong. I understand.
I don't know, but I'm trying to figure out where the disconnect is.
So
because you've seen it done.
No, I know. But I also haven't seen Nebraska have really good quarterback play consistently since Joe Gans.
That may be pushing it.
Consistently?
Depends on how you felt about Adrian's freshman year.
I did not. I mean, I thought he was nice for a freshman.
You didn't think it was consistent?
No. There was too many mistakes still. But it was freshman mistakes, so it was understandable.
Okay.
But I thought, no.
Boy.
I'm going to pass on it.
You went from making fun of me and telling jokes to like just being tough.
I think I don't want to undersell the impact of the quarterback thing when we've spent weeks now, and we're going to spend another couple days here at the end of the week in like straight up saying, hey, if these guys do what they should do, or if they don't do what they think they're going to do, that's going to directly impact the wins and losses of that team. So I understand how impactful, and maybe not to the extent that you the way you are, but like I understand how impactful special teams can be, but I'm not willing to just concede that it's more impactful than Dana and Dylan together.
Okay. I'll ride with that.
Like, I think that's where I have my pushback here just a little bit.
A little.
I mean, just a little bit, you know. Speaking of that, though, we are going to do our draft on Friday. If you want to be, I know some people listen late here. I need you to listen live tomorrow at 8 a.m. because that's how we're going to pick our listeners.
Oh, somebody must have came up with that idea.
Live tomorrow, 8 a.m. So we're going to have a couple trivia questions. You're going to call in. So if you're a podcast listener, make sure you're listening Thursday at 8 a.m. if you want to be part of the quarterback draft. You'll have to answer a couple of questions about either me, DB, or the show. And if you get those right, you will be our lucky drafters.
I feel like you made an executive decision, but I'm going to ride with it.
It was on the rundown. If you
I'm a good company. Well, I thought we were going to talk through it.
Oh, okay. I was just kind of.
I could read.
There. Well, so I just figured if you didn't push back on it, then you were cool.
I'm a good company man.
I appreciate
Nothing oozes company man like ODB.